And a jolly good morning to you from a bright and sunny and very spring-like what day of the week is it? Wednesday morning here in northwest London, specifically Willesden Junction. Now this is going to be a relatively short little walk in an area that's one of my very old stomping grounds, and I mean very old stomping grounds. From when I was a teenager, I used to work just round the corner from here and used to come on the train from Milton Keynes every day via Watford Junction to Willesden Junction. So this is an interchange here for the London Overground, North London line, which will take you around to places such as Richmond, Clapham Junction, and the other direction towards Stratford and one or two other places, and the north-south, what's usually commonly referred to as the DC lines, to Euston and Watford Junction, including places such as Wembley Central. So I'm going to take a little walk, about 4-mile walk from here at Willesden Junction, around Old Oak Common towards Wormwood Scrubs and back round. It's approximately 4 miles, should take about an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half, and have a little see along the way. See what's changed in all those years since I used to work here. Well, not a lot has changed as far as Willesden Junction's changed. It's had a lick of paint, some new signage for the London Overground, which didn't exist back in those days. It was British Rail, and also London Underground, the Bakerloo line that would stop here on the north-south lines, at least anyway. So I'm just going to take a walk this bridge, just trying to remember the name of it now without looking at my map. I think it's Old Oak Common Road. I may have got that slightly wrong. Just going over the West Coast main line now, so I'll just pop the camera over the top. And of course that was in the direction of Euston, and the train ploughs up and down towards the northwest of England, Manchester, Liverpool, and also up to Scotland, up and down this line, and Birmingham too. Willesden itself's back in that direction, and I'm going to be taking a walk in this general direction, and immediately once we're over the railway line we're into Park Royal. And I used to work over there in what was the Freightliner terminal. I believe it's still a freight yard. It used to be the Freightliner intermodal depot. And the general layout over there seems to be much the same as I remember, although there appears to be only one crane there now. I seem to remember at least 2, possibly 3. I am following a route set up by an app I use frequently called Go Jauntily. It has a number of walks on there in various parts of the country, hundreds and hundreds of walks in fact, that people have uploaded, accompanying descriptions of the route, what you're likely to see along the way, and some photographs. It also acts as a route finder. You can either put in an A to B between 2 points, and it will route you on, well, as best it can, a nice walking route between the 2 points, or in the case of today, I've put in a circular route from Willesden Junction back to Willesden Junction, and you can specify what sort of distance you would like to walk. And I just looked at what map it came out with from I think the lowest was about 1 kilometre up to 5 or 6, 10 kilometres, and I came out with this 4-mile walk today via Wormwood Scrubs. I've just taken a little deviation from the actual the the route that the app was sending me, purely and simply because I think I used to walk this way to work every morning, just by these terraced houses just around the back street. One thing I do remember, I'm going back to the very late 70s, early 80s here, probably before many of you were born. And this little area along here, if you see these houses here, and as far as I can see, there's been very little change whatsoever. Very nice old terraced houses. I don't know if there was ever houses just over on this side. It's car parking now. And I do seem to remember being able to look straight across from inside the freight terminal over there, straight across here. And I remember walking down here one day and there was a lot of vans, a lot of people, and then I spotted cameras. And this was being used as a film set along here for an episode of The Sweeney, if you remember The Sweeney, with John Thor and can't remember the other guy's name now. Oh, Dennis Waterman, that's right. Fantastic 1970s London crime and police series, and they were using one of these houses, and all they were doing was filming one of them going in and coming back out again. I found that fascinating at the time, and actually looking at it now with an older person's eye, I can see why this area was used, not least the fact that there's quite a lot of room here. I don't remember it being set up like this. This road's obviously been resurfaced fairly recently, but I don't remember it being set up in such a nice way with the gardens over there. And but it did create a lot of space where you could get in vans and all the equipment that film companies use to make it appear like you're on just a normal street with houses on both sides. So yeah, that was an interesting thing that happened, and I'm hoping I can get round here. I used to be able to walk into this street from down here, because I remember the old brown, was it Ford Granada that the Sweeney had? They kept driving it round this corner at not a great speed. I suspect they probably sped up the film to make it look quicker in production. But that is where I used to work in there. Now it's an HS2 site, by the looks of things. I shan't go up there because I have a feeling you're probably supposed to work there to go up a bit further up there. But yeah, another thing I remember back in those days, we used to get paid on a Thursday and we used to get paid in cash. And I remember one day we had to pick our wages up from about 1 o'clock, I think it was, on a Thursday lunchtime. And I remember one day we had to wait until about 4 o'clock because the van that brought the money was robbed. And just over there, you can't really see it from here, we will walk over it shortly, is the Grand Union Canal. And I remember seeing two guys, one that appeared to be holding something that resembled a gun, let's say, running down there, and the other one carrying what I presume was the bag of money or box of money. I've only got vague recollections of that because at the time when I saw these guys running in a slightly suspicious looking way, I hadn't realised what had gone on. And it wasn't until later when we were told we couldn't pick our wages up because it had been stolen that it suddenly dawned on me that the guys I saw running along the canal were probably the culprits. And this was a popular place for some of the people that I work with, particularly after we'd been paid on a Thursday. We'd pop in here, the Fisherman's Arms. Used to be able to, obviously get a pint after work and a pie, and play some darts and so on and so forth. It's first thing in the morning, actually. It's not actually open yet, but just looking inside, it doesn't look like an awful lot's changed. And one thing, railway cottages, yeah, it's a very, there's a lot of railway infrastructure around this part of northwest London as well. And I seem to remember back in the day where that shop is there, Junction Food and Wine, there was a bookmaker's. It might have been slightly further along, because I do remember quite a few guys would head on over there to put bets on horses and so on. That appears to have gone now. I think I called this Old Oak Common Lane earlier on. It's Old Oak Lane. I seem to add an extra bit in there. Just come up to the Grand Union Canal. If you were to walk along the canal from here, well, you would head up to the Midlands in that direction. And that's where I saw the guys running along the towpath there with my wages in there. Wonder if they're ever caught. And down that way we'll take you down to Paddington Basin and join the Regent's Canal down there. But I'm not taking either of those routes today. I'm just going to follow this Go Jauntly app and this circular walk via the Wormwood Scrubs. So this is where I was getting slightly confused with my fading memory. Old Oak Road, and then I turn onto Old Oak Common Lane. That's where I was getting muddled up. And English breakfast: 2 eggs, sausage, 2 bacon, mushrooms, tomatoes, beans, 2 hash browns, £8. Well, that's if the breakfast is a good one, that's a good price. Here's quite an industrial part of North London around here. Oh dear, what's happened to this? Look at the state of that. Completely blown the doors off the post box there. There's a lot of modern development going on just over there in front of me. And there's bus stop, proudly announces, bus stop for the Old Oak Common Railway depots. And that's all over to my left now. Not too sure what we'll be able to see, but Old Oak Common, of course, has been in the news recently as a main station and development on the HS2 line, and in fact probably is going to be the terminus of the HS2, certainly in the early stages of it, unless the government suddenly finds some money and builds the, as it should, full line all the way into London Euston. I guess we shall see. Politics will, the importance of politics will outweigh the importance of common sense development of the railway in this country, as it always has done and probably always will do. Shame, but there you go. Certainly a big development going on over there. There are a few YouTube vloggers, one in particular. Can't remember his name just off the top of my head. North London something. But if you put into search on onto YouTube Old Oak Common Railway Depot, you'll come across this vlogger. He uses a drone and has filmed it extensively from above, the development that's going on. It's quite interesting, particularly if you look at his older ones and then the newer ones with the updated version, and you'll see how much work's going on over there. which does make all the lorries coming and going, it does make for quite a lot of noise around this part of London. Always was quite noisy around this part of London anyway, so I guess the locals are probably used to it. And as we've walked around Old Oak Common Lane, we've finally come to the Great Western Railway. I was in the Elizabeth line train actually just going over there. Just prior to that I saw a Great Western, and yeah, it just shows how connected this part of London is between two major railway lines. In fact, there's a Great Western just going over the top there now, and another Great Western commuter train heading on into Paddington. So I used to be able to access Wormwood Scrubs from just up there, but it looks like the HS2 and North Pole train maintenance depot seem to have encroached onto it now. A bit of signage here, an HS2 help desk probably explaining what's going on. Yeah. And looks like we can enter the Scrubs just here, a little bit further down than it used to be, but that's okay. And this is, well, it's Wormwood Scrubs. It doesn't sound very good, does it? Sounds really rather quite unpleasant. I suppose it's the fact that there is a prison here. Probably see that in a moment, which obviously has not got a great reputation. But it's a green space, let's say, that's kept in a more natural state, overgrown if you like, to allow the flora and fauna to thrive a bit better than manicured parks would do. Lots of chopped wood lying about just here. I can see that it's great for insects and so on, making their little homes in there. Be great on my wood burner as well, but there you go. Reminds me a little bit of Mitcham Common, kept in a similar kind of way. More natural. It's a very pleasant April day today actually. There's been a heck of a lot of rain recently. Things are starting to dry out a little bit just now. The thing is with London and any big city anywhere in the world, no matter how much green space is left free for the wildlife and for people to enjoy, there's still that noise of the city. You can always hear it, but it is great to be able to get somewhere inside here where you can actually hear the birds and other animals, but there is that general hum of London going on in the background. A lot of cranes up there for the HS2 development. And I believe Her Majesty's Prison, or His Majesty's Prison I should say now, Wormwood Scrubs, is just over there, somewhere behind those trees I'm guessing. There's an area up here I've just noticed on the map that says reserved for model aircraft flying, so that'd be great if there was somebody doing that today, as it's sort of a April morning on a Wednesday. Probably not, but be interesting to see. I certainly can't hear anything in that sounds like model aircraft flying around over there. Incidentally, while I'm just sat here for a little rest in the sunshine and have a little drink and just, I'll say watch the world go by, there's not a lot of world going by just from here. I can hear the railway behind me. Other than that, it's quite a peaceful spot just here. But one thing I will say, if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll have noted that I usually put music on quietly over the talking, and then a bit louder when there isn't any talking. But I received a few comments saying, oh, nice video, rubbish music and things like that. So rather than try and satisfy individual tastes in music, which is basically an impossibility, I thought I'd do a few videos without music at all, just see how that goes, see how many comments I get saying, oh, where's the music gone to, or prefer it, we can hear what's going on in the background and such and such. So it's just a little tester. This is my first one without any music whatsoever, and I shall do a few more, post them and see if I get any comments or not. Feel free to comment if you either like the music and prefer the music, or indeed prefer not to have it. So Wormwood Scrubs is designated a public open space and has been for well over 100 years. It's 170 acres, and as I say, it's left to do its own thing really. And surprise to me actually, it's in the borough of Hammersmith and Fulham. Didn't realise we'd ventured over to that borough. Hammersmith Hospital apparently is over there, quite close to the Wormwood Scrubs prison. So yeah, I learned something new today. I thought we were still up in I don't know, wherever we were before, but probably once we've crossed the Great Western Railway line, we've entered Hammersmith and Fulham. So there you go. Oh, and Queen's Park Rangers used to play on here back in the 1800s. They're one of the lesser well-known London football clubs, although any followers of English football will know them well, of course. Well, here's the area that's reserved for model aircraft flying. Unfortunately, there's nobody here today with their little model aircraft and flying them around, which is a great pity actually. I was rather hoping somebody would be here doing that. I guess that's something you'd have to come and have a look at the weekend. Actually, one thing that's surprised me is the number of football pitches on here. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised if over 100 years ago Queen's Park Rangers used to play on here. don't know if they if they perhaps actually had some sort of stadium or mini football ground, but these are just open pitches with that will be heavily used at a weekend, I should think, by little local football clubs. And there you go. That'll be His Majesty's Prison, Wormwood Scrubs over there, which was built in the 1800s also by prison labour. So they built their own prison. Just give you a sort of an idea of the geography of where we are. Just zoom in right the way over there. You can just see the Shard right in the centre. I'll just come round to the left there, right in the centre. You can just see the BT Tower, or what I would call the Post Office Tower. So we're quite a way out northwest here. The Shard being in south east London, just on the other side of the River Thames, just by the City of London, or to the south of the City of London, and the Post Office Tower there in just off Euston Road. Yeah, so the shrubs, so to speak, scrubs I should say, scrubs are presumably used to cover all of this at one point, and this has now been turned into football pitches. Not pretty good actually. Someone's left one of their corner flags out over there. You can see blowing in the wind. Don't know if the guy doing the white lines has got to do all of it today, but certainly he's got his work cut out if he has. He's been doing the rugby pitches here as well. Presumably there must be a game on here at some point. There's he. You can see him on the screen, like coming into Heathrow. I get the feeling that this is probably where Queen's Park Rangers ground used to be. It's now the Linford Christie Outdoor Sports Centre. Some very old infrastructure just there. Most of this is quite new, or certainly not from the 1800s anyway. And it's currently the home of Kensington Dragons FC, affiliated to Middlesex County Football Association. But when you look along there, that's a very old wall and piece of infrastructure there, which makes me think that's been there a very long time. Oh, a little hole in the fence there. Let's have a little look through. Let's be nosy. Ah, yeah. Nice stadium. And of course, most people will remember Linford Christie, one of Great Britain's finest sprinters, and you do still see him popping up here and there on athletic TV programmes, expressing his knowledge of the sport. The last three green open spaces, public open spaces of London that I've gone to, them being Mitcham Common, Tooting Beck Common, was it Tooting Beck Commons, plural, I seem to think I remember, and here they've by far exceeded my expectations. I went with very little expectation. Most people, of course, will have heard of the very famous royal parks, Hyde Park, Green Park, Regent's Park, etc. And of course they are beautiful and manicured and very looked after, and I just thought these would be rather not such good parks, but this is certainly pretty good, and it's a massive, excellent open space for playing sports, and football in particular by the looks of it. Children's playground just over to my right there, and yeah, as with the other two that I recently visited, very impressed. I suppose Wormwood Scrubs in particular doesn't really sound that great, but yeah, no, it's certainly excellent. Nice place to walk around, particularly on a day like today. It's not particularly warm, not particularly cold, just nice walking weather. Noticed on the map as well the Wormwood Scrubs Pony Centre, and I can see some ponies just through that. You won't, I doubt you better see it on the camera, but just through the fence there in the inner enclosure. Looks like a multi-use all-weather pitch just there as well. I head back over this way, just complete the circle back towards Willesden Junction. Probably done about 2/3 of the walk now, I should think. And a lot more of it was here inside the Scrubs than I thought would be the case, but yeah, well worthy of a visit here if you are in the area, or indeed stay in this area in London, somewhere to get out in the fresh air, away from the hustle and bustle of the streets. I have to just follow the map now, because I'm sure I can see a railway line just over there, so crossing to the other side of that, which I think is possibly where I need to be, is hopefully there's some sort of route through. I'll just have a little look in a minute. So gonna leave Wormwood Scrubs now and head onto Scrubs Lane. Just looks like there's a footpath just through these bushes. There is I think it was Little Wormwood Scrubs or Mini Wormwood Scrubs, I can't remember what it's called now, just over the other side of the railway line. The railway line obviously cut through at some point and left that on the other side, also a very long time ago. And there's the Grand Union Canal again. We've gone in a 3/4 of a circle so far, and came back over in the other direction. There's an Elizabeth line train heading towards Paddington. Great Western Railway's depot over there. This is the West Coast Main Line, next to it the DC lines up to Watford, with a Bakerloo line underground train upon it. Stonebridge Park do they go to is the furthest, somewhere like that, maybe Wembley. And And right the way over there, you can just see the cranes of Willesden. And Wembley, and the arch of Wembley Stadium. That's where we are. So we're just coming off Scrubs Lane, Northwest 10, onto Harrow Road, also Northwest 10, and heading back round towards Willesden Junction railway station. As I say, it's a very sort of industrial working part of London, and other than nice little quiet areas in the Scrubs, it is fairly, how should we put it, probably not for your average tourist, but there are some interesting things to see here, and nice walk along the canal. You could go back to Paddington and Little Venice from here, walk out, get a train out to Willesden Junction and walk back to Paddington, which would be a reasonably pleasant walk along the canal, I would say. And here we are back to Willesden Junction. This is the Harrow Road entrance. I came off at the Oak Royal, I can't remember, entrance or exit earlier on. So I'm going to head back into the station and head off home. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little wander around this quite gritty part of northwest London, and saw something that you may not have otherwise seen. Let me know if you like a bit of music on these videos, or just the sound of hybrid red buses. Old Oak Lane entrance. Yeah, this will bring me to the high level platforms, I think, or is it the low? Oh, I don't know. I'm lost now. This is the other entrance and exit to Willesden Junction, so I'm going to head in this way. Yeah, let me know if you prefer these videos with music, without music, or don't care. Pop a comment in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you again very soon with some more videos of parts of London, parts of the UK, and parts of Europe and other places around the world as soon as I possibly can. Once again, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Cheers for now. Bye.